CJ Flyer back with Fire another YouTube video. Today teaching you how to play March Madness in NBA 2K26. Whether you are a salty Duke fan that wishes the game versus UConn ended differently, or you jumped on the Nebraska ball bandwagon and wanted to see them make it to the championship game, well now you can do that in NBA 2K26 utilizing the MyNBA mode. Now before I begin, I need to emphasize that first of all, this tutorial is for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X or S only. This is not for PC, this is not for PS4, this is not for Xbox One, this is not for the Nintendo Switch. Also, this is for offline only. This is not to play online with your friends. You can still play with friends if it's offline on the same console, but this is not capable of playing with an online NBA mode. Alright, so to get started, first from the main menu, scroll right to MyNBA. Then in the MyNBA submenu, scroll down and select 2K Share. From there, you'll get a pop-up with two options. Go ahead and select MyNBA 2K Share Scenarios. Select to create a new save. And now once the 2K Share file manager has loaded, go ahead and click triangle on the PlayStation 5 or Y on the Xbox Series X or S. From here, you'll get another pop-up and go ahead and select search by online ID. From there, you will type in the username CJ23MJ. You should see a couple options. Go ahead and select the one that says March Madness 2026 with the description at the top saying as seen on YouTube at CJ Flyer Gaming. And once you selected that, you'll be brought right into the March Madness tournament. Now, unfortunately, because this is in the world of the NBA and not college basketball, we can only have a 16-team bracket, so I went ahead and put in the Sweet 16. Now this scenario file is set to All-Star difficulty with injuries turned off. If you wish to change any of that, of course, go into the settings and make those changes accordingly. Additionally, the rules have been changed to replicate college basketball rules. So instead of 12-minute quarters, there is 10-minute quarters to simulate 20-minute halves. It's 5 fouls to foul out instead of 6. There's no jump ball. It's a possession arrow instead, so on and so forth. Now I'd like to acknowledge that yes, we are already past the tournament and I am getting this video out a lot later than I usually do in the past couple of years. And the main reason for that is because first of all, there hasn't been nearly as many college basketball rosters created and available on 2K Share for the console players. And secondly, of the rosters that have been created, there's very few teams that have been included in these sets of rosters. And with that in mind, what I actually had to do was take rosters from two separate rosters files created by two separate users in order to create this March Madness scenario. The first user being Spliffum123, which created all of the teams that you see with exception to Nebraska. For whatever reason, Nebraska was not included in the rosters that he had created. And I would gladly shout out the user that created the Nebraska team roster. However, I forgot to document it, and I honestly wish I could remember, and I don't. And I sincerely apologize to whoever created that Nebraska team roster. But yeah, if I ever find the information, I thought I documented it, I didn't. But if I find it, I'll go ahead and leave that in the pinned comment and the description down below. Something else you'll notice as you play through this scenario file, you'll see that in each one of these games that the courts have the March Madness branding on them. Unfortunately, there's no way to set the playoff games to be neutral sites, so whichever team is the higher seed is going to have the home crowd cheering for them. That's just unfortunately the way it has to be. Of course, once it gets down to the Final Four, if you did want to transition from the generic March Madness branding to the Final Four logo being at center court, what you could do is go to the navigation menu by clicking either circle on the PlayStation 5 or B on the Xbox Series X or S, select front office, then select team relocation, then select design arena, and then you'll have a pop-up and you want to select to design the court floor. From there, select court floor, then click the right trigger twice to get to the text and images submenu, and then scroll down and select center court logo. And then click triangle on the PlayStation 5 or Y on the Xbox Series X or S, and type the username HUBERC33. From there, you should see a selection of various March Madness logos that this user has uploaded. And again, if you want to switch to the Final Four logo once the tournament reaches the Final Four, you could go ahead and do that. Now, before you leave a comment asking what if I want to use other teams like Kansas, like BYU, like Florida, so on and so forth, do not worry. There is a method to the madness in order to include them. However, I'm not covering it in this video. If you've been a follower of this channel, you know that I have been working on a Dynasty mode in NBA 2K MyNBA. Now, version 1 has been out for a couple months now, and I've gotten quite a bit of feedback on that video on how to improve the mode. And so with doing my own troubleshooting and taking in all of that feedback, I have been in the works of a version 2 that should be coming out within the next 1 to 2 weeks, and that will have its own video coming out around the time that it is available. And with version 2 of Dynasty Mode in NBA 2K26 MyNBA, you will have the ability to select from 52 teams. Now, if you're watching this video and that Dynasty version 2 has already come out, that is the video that you will see pop up on your screen now. Otherwise, at the current moment, it will be the Dynasty version 1 tutorial video. Either way, if Dynasty Mode is something you are interested in doing, Dynasty of course including multiple seasons, including both regular season and playoffs, and a transfer portal, click that video on your screen right now.